Guys, having virtual assistants in my social media marketing agency has been one of the most life-changing moves I've ever made. That definitely was a good business move on my behalf, Montel. Well friggin' done for figuring that shit out. Because it was hard to figure out. It took me quite a while to actually figure out cold email, but once I did, I actually implemented virtual assistants into my business to actually do first line writing for my emails. And in this video, I'm actually going to basically break down exactly why you need to start hiring virtual assistants to do your outreach for you. I'm actually going to break down some of the benefits of it. There's probably a few cons, but I can't really think of many, except for you obviously have to pay these people, so you need to be financially in the point to actually do this. That's the only real downside to it. The second downside would be training them and then making sure that their work's actually of quality and the quality doesn't slip. Those are the only cons I can really think of hiring virtual assistants. Everything else is literally an upside for your business. So I want to break down exactly why you should start hiring VAs, how it's changed my life and how it's going to change your life. Now, a VA just stands for virtual assistant. These are people that you can hire from Upwork.com, Fiverr.com. You go in Facebook groups and find them. I personally though use Upwork.com to find my first line writers. Now you're probably wondering what on earth is a first line writer. Now when I send out emails, so let me just quickly backtrack a second and give you a bit of context. I do two things in my agency. I run, people's social media accounts for them. I manage them. And these are clients that I get from Upwork only. I only really offer social media management on Upwork. I don't offer Facebook ads on Upwork. I don't do social media management outside of Upwork unless somebody really wants it or something like that. But I do just offer social media management on Upwork. Upwork.com as a freelancer account. Because there's two accounts you can create on Upwork, just real quick. Freelancer and a client account. Well, technically there's an agency. I don't use an agency account, by the way. So long story short, guys, I do social media management on Upwork. Then what I do is I use the cash flow that I make from these particular clients on Upwork. I use that cash flow to hire people in like the Philippines, in like India, in like not underdeveloped countries, but like countries that are kind of like, there's a good arbitrage in terms of value for money, if you will. Like, paying them $250 per month, for example, is actually a good wage for people over in like the Philippines where the wages aren't that great. So they're happy to do this work for you. So I've actually found that that's another win as well, because they're happy to actually get paid that particular money just to send emails, basically. So long story short, that's where I get my virtual assistants from. That's the sort of countries I look for. And their English is very, very good, by the way. These are people that I've actually trained up. I actually have a whole full training on how to train a VA. Not only do I show you how to get a VA, but I give you training that is my internal training that I give to my VAs, so you can actually see my training and actually just give that training to your VAs when you're inside of Agent Transformation or the one-to-one program. If you're interested in either of those, again, the link is below. But long story short, guys, this is why you want to kind of like hire VAs. There's a couple of reasons, and let me just quickly backtrack real quick to show you what I do. Upwork, social media management clients. Outside of Upwork, I offer Facebook ads to e-commerce brands. Now, in order to land e-commerce brands or actually get these e-commerce brands on a call, I actually have to send them some sort of outreach message. My weapon of choice, if you will, is cold emails. The only problem with cold emails is that it's long to first and foremost, very, very long, very tedious, very time consuming, very slow, very just such a headache. And I'd rather watch paint dry, to be honest, at this particular point. It's very, very difficult to actually go out there and find leads consistently if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're doing it manually. If you're finding leads manually, so lead sourcing manually, prospecting and qualifying leads manually, those three things I just said individually are like a 9-to-5 job within itself, each one of them separately. Then you have to actually write some sort of custom introduction line in your emails to make sure that this person knows that you genuinely have looked into their business and that you genuinely aren't just sending them a blank templated script on what I like to call using merge tag wizardry. Merge tag wizardry is when you don't really personalize an email properly. You say stuff like, hey, name, came across your company name, and so you was the CEO. That right there is what you call merge tag wizardry, where you can actually use merge tags to pull in the individual blank spots. So the company name would actually be replaced by the actual company name. So, hey, John, seeing that you was the CEO of Nike, and I just wanted to, reach out. That would be a merge tag wizardry outreach, and people can smell that that's merge tagging from a mile away, especially e-com brand owners. So this is why you actually want to hire virtual assistants, because you need to do a lot of personalization in order to even get your foot through the door and actually get your email read in the first place. And if you don't get your email read, they're not going to read your the body of your copy. If you don't read the body of your copy, you're not going to get any meetings. If you don't get any meetings, you're not going to get any opportunities to close clients. If you don't close clients, you're not going to make any money. So as you can see, this stuff is very, very important because it actually has a crazy knock-on effect to how the actual funnel kind of like flows and your metric actually flow. And when you've got a virtual assistant, you can actually do personalization and lots of emails at scale. And that's what I found. And we need to establish this fact first and foremost, that the key to SMMA is doing lots of outreach that's personalized. If you can combine these two and actually do lots of outreach that's personalized to the right niche with the right script, if you will, you're gonna blow up. You're gonna actually have an amazing agency and amazing growth. As you know, granted that you can actually keep clients in the back and you don't keep losing clients after like the first month, if you will. There's only two systems to SMMA: your outreach system to actually attract clients, and then actually keeping clients, which is your service delivery system. So let's actually break down why you want to hire virtual assistants and why I genuinely think it's a life-changing thing for me, and why it was life-changing. So I was struggling to land clients and stuff like that for like 3 years and scale my agency past that 10K per month mark. It wasn't until May 2021 where I actually figured out this thing that I call the hybrid system, which is using cash flow from Upwork clients to then hiring virtual assistants to hire virtual assistants. So it's like a self-funding system. Like it's almost like my clients on Upwork pay for me to actually hire my virtual assistants to then get me more clients. So it's like I'm getting clients to pay me to get more clients. That's literally what I mean by self-sustaining system. So it's like one engine is fueling the other engine, hence why I call it the hybrid system. If you think about a hybrid car, the combustion engine charges the electric engine, and then the electric engine could take you even further, for example. So that's basically what I mean by the hybrid system. Now it's a life-changing system for me because when I was in struggled for 3 years, and then within 24 days I went from 3.1k British pounds. This is in May 2021, by the way. So in 24 days I went from 3.1k British pounds just under to just under $12,000 in 24 days, and then scaled way past that in the next couple of months lead on. And the reason for that is because I was cranking out much more outreach. Now I was setting anywhere between 5 to 6 meetings at the pinnacle. I've kind of slowed the system down now just because I'm working on age tramitation, but definitely turning it back on because I've got my virtual assistants waiting on me, literally. So don't worry too much about that. I was setting anywhere between 5 to 6 meetings a week from 250 emails a week. So there was 2 virtual assistants, right? I've still got them, by the way. They're on Rolodex. They're waiting for me. They're on pause. Right now I'm not really doing much outreach. Just January I'm focusing on age tramitation. Agency's already built up to multiple 6 figures. I'm cool right now. I'm in a maintenance phase right now. That's once you get to this stage, you can actually start turning off stuff and whatnot. I wouldn't recommend turning it off for too long because you always want a full pipeline, which I'll get to in a second. I set anywhere between 4 to 5 to 6 meetings sometimes a week, sometimes even more than that. It's just from cold emails. When I talk about Upwork outreach right now, from 250 emails per week. I have 2 virtual assistants. They both send 25 emails per day for me when they're actually, the system's turned on, if you will. So that's 50 emails per day to e-com brands that is actually personalized. Now, the reason why you want to use virtual assistants is because you want to build a team to go far. I'm pretty sure you've actually heard that cliche saying that like, if you want to go quickly, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, that's when you actually start building a team of people. And I've noticed that most businesses and a lot of billionaires will actually say this, like Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos, and I can pretty much guarantee they will all agree with this. I've read a lot of books. I've looked into a lot of their stuff. They're big on hiring people, hiring talent, and finding talent, and hiring people that are smarter than you and who work harder than you to actually help you grow your business, even if you have to pay them a lot of money to actually do so. They're big on hiring. You'll notice that a lot of billionaires focus on hiring extremely good talent and stuff like that. But I've noticed that your business is only as good as the people in your business. And if you don't have any people in your business, you don't really have a business, do you? You just have a freelance kind of like gig that you do on the side, basically, or full time. You just do like that. And if you don't, that's actually funny as well, because let me back up and actually say that again. If you don't actually have people in your business doing work for you, if you will, again, that's not a business. That's a 9-to-5 job disguised as your agency, as a business. That's not really a business. Now, another reason why you want to hire VAs is because I found that they're much more consistent than you. Now, the reason for that is because, first and foremost, to actually keep a full pipeline, the pipeline is how many potential leads you have at any given time, which then can turn into potential clients through meetings and on calls. So that's what your pipeline is. You want to keep your pipeline, full. And the way how you do that is you consistently, reaching out to people, engaging with people and talking to people and having conversations with people and having calls with people. That's how you keep your pipeline full of potential leads, if you will. So that's how you keep your pipeline full. The only problem that and most people have with SMMA is not that they have a broken agency. It's just that they don't have that consistency where they can crank out 50 emails per day by themselves each and every day for long periods of time. I'm talking 90 days straight. In fact, let me ask you this real quick, whoever's watching this. When was the last time you did outreach for your agency for 90 days straight without missing a single day throughout the 90 days? Nobody can answer that, because nobody can actually physically keep that up, because it's just so tedious, so time consuming, and so it just doesn't work, to be honest with you. And the reason why I found it doesn't work, by the way, is because of a few things. Number one reason, though, is we humans are we've kind of been raised by society. We kind of follow the societal norm of, doing work in order to get paid. Trading time for money, basically, is what we're normally doing. And when we're writing these 25 emails a day, or how many emails you're cranking out a day, and you're not seeing the results and you're not getting paid for it, it feels so disheartening and so just horrible that it feels like you shouldn't be doing it. And that right there builds a negative feedback loop in your brain and makes you inconsistent. It's almost like trying to run like I always use this analogy. It's almost like waking up every single day and knowing you have to run a marathon every single day. Like you wake up and you think, oh, I've got to do all that outreach again. That's like your marathon. You have to climb this huge hill every single day. That's like your marathon, if you will. It's like your outreach, if you will. And it's very difficult to do that, to even mentally even picture yourself doing that, because it's very tedious, very time consuming, and very long job. Sometimes it takes hours on end just to get qualified leads before you even send emails to them. So hiring VAs are going to be more consistent than you. The reason for that is because they're financially being rewarded and incentivized to do a specific job. AKA, if this person called Susan, who you've hired from the Philippines, is being hired to do 25 and getting paid to do 25 emails per day, if she doesn't do 25 emails per day, she gets paid less. Therefore, in order for her to get paid, she's going to do 25 emails. That's one specific job for you. Find 25 leads and send 25 emails. So write the actual first lines of the email, should I say. And if she doesn't do that, she doesn't basically get paid. So that's basically what I'm talking about by they're financially incentivized to do that said job, if you will, that specific one job. So they're going to be much more consistent than you. Not only that, but if you take a look, and if you don't believe me, just take a look at any other business, right? Any other business out there. They not like any other business that's actually significant and doing decent numbers. You will see that they have some sort of sales department. Take a look at like Vodafone, AT&T, Amazon, any sort of like big business, even medium-sized businesses that you can think around your local area, like the local real estate agents. They've got people and staff inside of that particular, if it's them themselves doing it, or if they've got a team or dedicated people doing it, but there's always some sort of sales department doing the outreach, or emailing people, cold calling people, just doing outreach to actually get customers in the door, if you will. One of the most important departments in the entire business, if you will. There's marketing department, there's sales departments, but think about it, guys. Why is it that every single business that's successful has some sort of sales department and they focus heavily on hiring people? It's because your business is only as good as the people that actually work in it. Now, this again allows you to fill your pipeline automatically and allows you to actually free up your time, is what I found. Once you've actually got a system that actually genuinely works, where you're setting 5 to 6 meetings per day, per week, hopefully, eventually per day as well, by the way. But if you've got a system what's setting you, 5 to 6 meetings per week on autopilot, you can now step back from your business and actually be a proper business owner. As in, that actually enables you to be a proper business owner, because your business is going to grow with or without you, because the work's actually getting done without your input, if you will, which basically means you're actually a proper business owner, not just a glorified freelancer, or running this thing that you call a business that's not actually really a business, which is like a 9-to-5 job disguised as a business. So as you can see, it actually allows you to become a proper business and fill your pipeline automatically. And because of that, you've got more free time on your hand, which in turn allows you to think of more bigger picture things. This is vital for us entrepreneurs, planning, attacking certain things, coming up with new strategies, angles, even being able to split test actually is even better when you've got virtual assistants. And the reason for that is because if you send more emails, you're going to get more data points in. The more data points you get in, and the quicker you can get them in, the more you know what to change, when to change it, how to change it, and what you should even change, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That then in turn allows you to get better at cold emails even faster. Now, because you can actually do more outreach as well, obviously, the more outreach you do, the more conversations you're going to get on, the more conversation you're going to get on, the more clients you're going to close. The more clients you close, the more money you're going to make. So as you can see, it's all a self-sustaining kind of like positive reinforcing business decision that you need to make. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, cool, Monta, I understand the importance of hiring virtual assistants, but how do I afford these virtual assistants? Well, I personally created this kind of like strategy called the hybrid system, where it's like, cool, you can, if you're working a job right now and you can't afford to hire a virtual assistant, then go ahead and hire a virtual assistant. If you can't though, what you can do is actually use something like Upwork to stack up a couple of small ticket clients. Just get to like 5 small ticket clients that are paying you, $500 each, that's $2,500. Now, I've had students do this in their first 3 days. I've had students come into the program and quit their job in their first 14 to 18 days or something like that. I've had students come into the program and close like a 4.1K per month client in like their first 3 weeks. So there's it's actually quite, I wouldn't say easy, but it's a simple thing to do if you understand the concept. Figure out how to get that cash flow in, then you actually use that cash flow to reinvest back into your business to then create this system that's going to take your business even further. That's what I call the hybrid system. And that's how you would go about affording your VAs. And again, it's almost like this. Why would you take the money out of your own back pocket and pay a virtual assistant per month and have a leaky funnel? Because it does take a few months to train them. It does take a few months to actually start landing meetings and stuff like that. And that's normal. That's just you going through a learning curve of learning cold emails, learning your virtual assistant, training your virtual assistant, and just learning the overall system. It does kind of take a couple of months. So you're going to be in the negative for a couple of months. But instead of doing that, why not just go to Upwork, a more secure place to actually land clients because they're warmer on there? Actually start stacking up cash flow, use that cash flow now from your clients and literally just put it into the system itself instead of taking the money out of your own back pocket. It's like the system, this Upwork system pays for the other system. That's what I'm exactly trying to say. But hiring a virtual assistant, guys, absolutely phenomenal. It almost feels like a cheat code in SMA. It feels like I'm buying meetings. It literally feels like I can just sit there, turn the system on, pay my virtual assistants, they go out, do the work, and I'm actually just landing meetings on autopilot. I'm not even joking. I literally wake up when this system's obviously turned on. I'm working on H-fermentation right now. But when this system's actually turned on, I wake up, I look at my calendar, and I see who's booked in. If the calendar and the application form is not good, I send them an email saying, hey, apologies, this particular meeting is probably not going to be a good fit if the application is not a good fit. And sometimes it doesn't even need to get to that particular stage. And I cancelled their call, by the way. But sometimes it doesn't even need to get to that particular stage because sometimes they'll reply back. I'll have a conversation with them myself. The actual outreach has gone out via my virtual assistant. Then I've got a response back from from the actual client, the prospect, should I say. Then I handle that conversation back and forth via email, and then I see if they're a good fit from there on by asking them a few questions and whatnot, or if they just fill in my application form on my when it's time to book in a call with me. And if it's not good, I just cancel their call. So it's literally like you can't get on a call with a person that they're not a good fit with anyway. So it doesn't that also eliminates the need for like this elaborate, huge kind of like prospecting and qualifying process, which slows you down heavily. But yeah, virtual assistants, what they can do for you is really take your business to that next level. They really just duplicate you. So let's say you're able to send out 20 emails a day, and that's what you can do. By hiring 2 other virtual assistants, now you've gone from doing 20 emails a day to doing 60 emails a day, because each one of them could do 20 to 25 emails a day. Let's just call it 20 for ease of numbers. So now you've got 3 people, you, 1 virtual assistant, and your other virtual assistant, all sending out 20 emails individually each per day. Now you're sending out 60 emails per day. You've just 3x'd your business's, output, if you will, or input to generate a 3x output, if you will. You're going to get 3x the results in the same amount of time, because it's only taking you, if it takes you an hour to write, or let's say 2 hours actually, or 3 hours to write, your 20 emails, and you hire virtual assistants, that's not additional time that you have to add on, because you're leveraging other people's time. You've now got leverage, if you will. You're leveraging other people's time in order to actually, build your business towards a set goal. This is what a business is all about, an actual business. In fact, Google the definition of agency. It's not about doing it all yourself. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this. Hope that I've sparked some ideas. And by the way, in the one-to-one program, I help you hire your virtual assistants. I help you put the virtual assistants in place. I help you train them as well. I give you the exact same training that I give to people, my actual virtual assistants. And I actually help you build out this system, one-to-one with you. And that program, by the way, the one-to-one program, only 5 spots available because it is January. I'm working on H-fermentation, like I keep mentioning. There's only 5 spots available. The reason for that is because it's a live one-to-one program. This is not a program that I can just infinitely sell out. It's literally a live one-to-one program where it's like a done with you program where I'm helping you build out your agency. So it's not like I can just take anybody on or everybody on, because it's literally physically locked into my time, which is probably not a good business model, but hey ho, I really do like helping people one-to-one, having that one-to-one element. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in that, the link is below. If you're interested in H-fermentation, that is linked below as well. But that being said though, guys, hope this kind of like sparks some ideas in you that you don't need to do it all yourself. Literally having a virtual assistant is literally like being able to duplicate yourself many times over if you train them right, by the way. Of course, you have to train them right. I've mentioned all this before, in the start of this video. But anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. And Happy New Year again. And I hope that we're going to be crushing it this January. This year, in fact, I feel like this year is going to be huge. Well, yeah, there's no limit on how much outreach you can do as long as you've got the systems in place. Literally, you could hire like 10 different virtual assistants, send out 25 emails each. You're sending out 250 emails a day or something like that. Whatever the math is, might be off. Yes, 250 emails. But long story short, guys, you get the point I'm trying to make. Virtual assistants help you duplicate yourself, speed up the entire process. And last but not least, I forgot about this. It detaches your emotion to your outreach. So when you're doing outreach, you're emotional about it because you're not getting responses, or you get negative responses, you get emotional about that. When you've got a virtual assistant writing your emails for you, and you get somebody telling you to F off because you didn't write that email yourself, or you had a virtual assistant write it, it's literally not even, it feels like it's not even being directed to you. So it allows you to detach your emotions and think logically about it, which is a numbers game. You do need to think about numbers, metrics, how much calls, conversion rates, that sort of stuff. But there is a personalization element on top of that as well. Anyway, guys, don't want to take up too much of your time. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hire some VAs. It's life changing. Definitely can vouch for it 100%. I find my VAs on Upwork. Anyway, guys, see you in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. Peace.